This is Pick and Mix on Selsey Internet Radio. I'm your host, Dennis Cowan, and we're going to have some fun, or not. In the studio today, I have Phil Way. Phil's been here before. My other guest, not here. How sad. We were going to talk about Selsey and astronomy and what's happening after Patrick. Where is the astronomy? There is talk at the moment. We see this in an announcement that there is to be one on the south coast. The Selsey Coastal Trust has received funding towards a community observatory. The observatory will be non-profit making venture, yes, offering hands-on education and inspiration. Plus education, yeah, I've said that one already. Well, Phil, what do you think about this?
Well, obviously, being a local guide, local taxi driver as well, I have heard a few views that they were talking about putting it down on the oval playing fields, putting a new observatory down there.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of negativity about it, to be honest with you. A lot of negativity about it. Saying it's the wrong place and it's going to spoil the fields down there. But to be perfectly honest with you, my personal feelings of it, I think it's ideal. You've got plenty of open ground there. Plenty of people can visit. There's plenty of parking down there. Don't see any harm with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because they say in this, the good parts, the benefits, as it says, the community will include funding to protect Oval Field from future erosion, which is unlikely to be available for the government sources, making the coastal part at the Bill and to Marine Beach more accessible for pushchairs, wheelchair users and those with limited mobility. And they say here that toilets will be provided for people using the field, sports pitch, playground and improved coastal path. And we go on to better and well-landscaped parking spaces, incorporating a drop-off point for school groups, although visitors will be encouraged to use the marine car park and visit bike and on foot. Visit by bike on foot, indeed. A high-quality restaurant cafe overlooking the sea in which to relax or marvel in the incredible projected images of the sun and the moon. boost the local economy in the form of staying visitors to Selsey. Star watchers like to stay 2 nights. Oh, indeed, they do. In case one is cloudy, so these visits support our visitor economy, jobs, training and education. And very importantly, surplus income from the observatory will be used to help maintain the defences to protect the area from future coastal erosion, clear shingle and coastal part and support other projects that benefit Selsey.
Well, you can't really argue with any of that, can you?
What do you think the people are actually worried by, Phil?
I don't. Well, the main comments I'm getting is people have been basically saying that it's the wrong location. It's just the wrong location for what they propose to do. But to be perfectly honest with you, if you look along the Selsey coastline, it's probably the only and the best location there is in Selsey, unless you go, further into sort of Bun Leisure territory.
Yes, because that's where they say Patrick actually intended it, or put his little stamp of approval that it should be somewhere on those rocks. I never visit those rocks.
Right.
So I have no idea.
I know very little about it, to be honest with you, but I think, where else could you put it?
Well, I always thought Bun Leisure just fell off the cliff there, and that was about it. But Patrick, if he said he liked it somewhere, then there must be somewhere up there he likes.
What, Bun Leisure? Is that where he wanted to go, was it?
That's what I hear. But this is supposed to be down the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The east side.
Yeah, it is. It's over East Beach side.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people will actually get alarmed when I was reading that then. Will get alarmed by words of restaurant and things, car parks and restaurant, etc.
Well, the thing I think about it, I mean, if you've got a big attraction there and it is managed properly and it is fenced off properly, it will stop travellers coming down and parking there like we've had in the past. But I won't. I'm not knocking all travellers, because there are good and bad in everybody, and is the same in any walk of life.
He's a lovely man, isn't he? It's into the good and bad.
No, there is good and bad in everybody. But I'm just saying.
He watches these Western movies, the good, bad, and ugly. Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
a lot of people would prefer to see an observatory there than they would to see a lot of caravans. Let's put it that way.
Right. I mean, astronomy, as far as sort of even this country knows, Selsey and Patrick was the kingdom.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean,
of astronomy.
Patrick was such a character. I mean, he was a customer of mine for many years. And watching Patrick drive around in his little old Triumph 2000, which was mustard coloured and rust.
Yeah. He does remember, yeah. Yeah, because the strange thing is that we've, before we came on air, we sort of said that on the programme Starts at Night, that one could see on various programmes quite a few people in his garden.
Mm-hmm, that's for sure.
But since Patrick has died, we've seen none of these people doing anything. And my other guest, David Gate, who couldn't be here, as I said a little bit earlier, he was keen on astronomy. He's probably still keen on astronomy, but he wants to know where it is and who's doing what. And I find that very peculiar, because one of the big names in this area on astronomy was Pete Lawrence from the show, mm-hmm. who still lives here and actually doesn't really do anything to promote astronomy here in Selsey, and there's also Mark Parrish and Ian Sharp. And I know between them they've got an observatory, but they actually don't really come out and do anything since Patrick's gone. You don't hear of them, you don't see them. To me, it's when you look at it, it's like a one-man band thing. Patrick was it.
Well, you need to invite them on the show then, Dennis.
He stops.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, Phil.
Well, you do. You need to invite them on the show and question them live.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt they'll come out to be in front of me somehow. Especially Pete Lawrence. I don't think he'll do that. Because Pete Lawrence, you phone him and he's sort of how can I say? He can say one thing, and do another.
Okay, well, you might listen to this show and do another.
Yeah, yeah. I think Pete Lawrence is still attached to the. I think it's made in Birmingham now, with a woman in charge now. Stars at Night.
Right.
But I find it amazing that sort of Pete Lawrence, Mark Parrish, and Ian Sharp never took things up, as they were so involved when Patrick was around.
Well, I'm amazed because, I mean, this lovely Selsey of ours is supposed to be one of the best places, in the country to gaze at stars at night. So I can't understand why they're not doing more in the area. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's really odd, yes. Right, will you take a break? We take a break, Phil. Guess what for?
Kit Kat.
No. For some music.
Like it's Sunday morning, as I rise up from my bed, I'm late again and I can't stop yawning, and I remember what you said. Sometimes I think it's me, sometimes I'm out my head, sometimes I'm like a fool, sometimes I think I'm dead. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. You said to me that you weren't so hungry, but now you're eating like a pig. Small was nice and your weight's worth watching, but now you're really fat and big. Sometimes I think it's me, sometimes I'm out my head, sometimes I'm like a fool, sometimes I think I'm dead. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sometimes it's like this, you know you like it, baby. Sometimes it's like that.
And that was Tearaway, a blast from the 70s. And they were singing Sometimes It's Like This. Before we go on to the next topic, as a footnote to the astronomy situation in Selsey, are the Three Musketeers, Lawrence, Parrish and Sharp, being selfish? Why didn't they take up the space that Patrick had to vacate? Now that's a conundrum. As had to go as he cannot comfortably get involved with the subject of builders. So, as they say, I'm going it alone, and there's plenty of stuff to say. Rogue traders, cowboy builders, cowboys and angels, nightmare homes. These are some of the programs that now dominate TV stuff. You've got Rogue Traders and Matt Allwright, and you've got Cowboy Builders and Dominic Littlewood. And they seem to always report on these builders who run away and leave the client absolutely devastated. Dodgy builders, bodge jobs, no receipts, avoiding tax. Builders claiming to be on government schemes and being registered with the council can be a lie. When you ring the council, they often know nothing about it. And then there's the one-man, one-van builder who hires others, which is called contracting out. It is in some cases creaming off the top, paying the other guys less so that he can take a good profit without doing much work at all. And the consumer is thinking that this business has all these employers when in fact it's just a contract job, and the customer has no idea of how good these workers are. It can be an old pal's hire thing, but some of these guys might have bad records. On the other hand, they might just be strangers where the builder has gone through the phone book. Watchdog said they had found many cases of traders claiming false affiliation to the Master Builders Guild, and workers who were not Corgi registered, and carrying out illegal work. They had glowing testimonials given on glossy-looking websites, and these are not always true. And one should always carry out a thorough check of a builder and trader before they take the money or step into your house. Some have the gift of the gab and act like friends, so remember that this can't be good for a business contract between you and the trader. He is there to do a good job, and in a time frame professionally acceptable, not one who pops around for a coffee, works an hour or so, pops off, comes back and says he needs more money, or he's got too much work on to do it in one go. A proper builder has a job card on which there's written how much time, the days needed, and a completion date. Cowboy builders rely on gullibility and making the job spread out, leaving the tired customer with just one wish, the wish it had never started, and that they just simply go away. The Consumer Minister on a TV interview after a Rogue Traders programme said that they were now recommending a new body, far tougher, called Trustmark. The Minister, Jenny Wilcott, said it set up a far higher bar of competence, demanding higher standards, which is obviously a good thing. The badge of approval, sought after by some builders in order to trick the customers into believing that they come highly recommended. As we've just talked about, there is Trustmark, the new one, but there is Checkatrade, the Checkatrade badge of approval, which comes in at £600, and some builders do use this as a guarantee of their work and standards. The BBC's Watchdog said some complaint reviews are held back for 21 days, so that they can let the trader know. And there is no guarantee of a bad review being posted. And this is quite a shocking thing, really. I would have thought that Checkatrade would actually be in the business of actually cancelling this kind of thing out. Over the past couple of years or so, especially where I live, I've seen two builders prolific in their domination and presence, being here in weeks and months, a duration I've never witnessed before. One of those was MWM, run by Martin Mead. So, on seeing his Checkatrade sign, I decided to do some digging and look at his review page, and this is what I found. One complaint said the son of an elderly lady customer was very angry with MWM, especially Martin Mead and the work he was doing. Mead played this down on his answer to Checkatrade in their log, saying it was a personality problem between him and the son. Another lady said that the quality of work was poor and the agreed timescales were not adhered to, and that she could not recommend MWM. On asking around, some were surprised by the sheer lack of complaints, especially on the Checkatrade file. White van builders with no markings or name of the company. A report by Rogue Traders said that many guys set up a building or plumbing or even gardening business without paying tax and kept company names off the vehicle to avoid VAT, etc., and take cash from the customer, or even persuade the customer they can do the job for less if it is in a cash payment, often leaving the customer with shoddy work and in a dangerous condition. And I've got to say, the second builder I saw did have such a van with no markings on. So it would be a good idea for prospective customers to see if the firm has any court judgments against it and note if they are outstanding. Turn our attention to two cases which are pretty awful. The first one being the case of a woman who had not only been swindled, but the cowboy builder had caused problems with the council. He'd taken her money to fix the leaning wall, which was actually in a shocking condition, and put in posts that were actually on council land. Even the pavement was cracked, and these were not fit enough to cope with the weight. Within weeks, it was in a dangerous condition. They tried to trace the builder, but he was gone, and the council had to place the responsibility on the woman who had no money left, which is quite awful. Even the council understood this, but they had no other way to go. To the second one, which was pretty awful itself, we can only label this as devastation left by builders. A family wanted a conservatory at the back of the house. They agreed to $26,000 and handed $20,000 over to the father and son builder partnership. They later turned up in a hire van. They contracted a bricklayer whose work was, in plain words, absolutely awful. And it transpired that the building inspector issued warning notes that the builder actually ignored. The work was deemed to be so dangerous and shocking, and this was an unskilled, unqualified builder who dissolved his company and disappeared. His qualifications were later checked, and it proved to be only in an advisory capacity. So just don't get builders because they say they're good or have a lovely web page or a bright, shiny new van. They need checking out before you have them. It's all well and good them coming and being friendly with you and saying they've done this, that and the other. Go and check some of that work out. It's the only way, and we actually heard that some actually faked that. They would take some people round and show them some houses and say, yes, we did this one. And actually it turned out they didn't do that one. If you've never met the builder before, always remember they are not your friends. They'll be pleasant and they will want the job. Or maybe they'll play around to get the job. So treat it as a business. You're having something done, and make sure the guy who is doing it is the right one to do it. Check him thoroughly out. He's going to charge you quite a sum of money. So don't get ripped off and don't get done. Get value for your money and check them out.
Ain't what they used to be, or how you used to look at me that way. Love was earned and now it's burned, and all we had is now upturned today. My bank is what you bank on, cash flow to your heart, Porsche to Ferrari, and now you're at the start. You got the money, you get the girl. If you got the money, you got the world. And all he said was just perhaps someday. On my bike was out of sight, now there's nothing right, no way. Gold is just your color, diamonds catch your eyes, cash can have you drooling, just think of what it buys. You got the money,
And that was Tearaway, If You've Got the Money, written by me, and that is a blast from the past. They were on the label Beggar's Banquet. So there you are, there's a little bit of news for you there. Right, we now go on to another subject which is in the news, or was in the news in Selsey, Asda in Selsey, and why not? This little thing has been dragging on to the point no one knows what's happening, just as some hope it won't. Selsey has the Co-op and Budgeons being a remnant of a one-time biggie, a leading supermarket of yesterday, especially around London. Now, there was earlier this year, or was it last year? There were people actually outside Budgeons with signs saying no to Asda. And I was talking to a friend, and we came to this thought was that if Asda come, and they should come here, that when it does open, those very same people that are going no to Asda will probably be shopping there. It makes sense. A lot of people, if you went round Selsey, would admit to going out to the huge supermarkets. And these supermarkets are competitive. The prices are right in many cases. When you look at another small place, and we are pretty small in Selsey, this competition between Co-op and Budgeons doesn't really exist. The prices are very similar, and even more a little bit up. There is no such thing as a Poundland. It's just sort of in a vacuum, in a time thing. But when you go to a place like Havant, you'll find that Poundland has just moved in. They've got a huge Tesco supermarket. They have within this space of, let's say, the Havant area, they have got access to many, sort of like Aldi's are there. And in some places, as we come over to Bognor, there is Lidl's, maybe Lidl's is on the outside, there is Morrison's there, there are things like Poundland and 99p shops. These help the competition, and they really give more choice to everybody. So it's hard to believe that the people of Selsey don't want more choice. I mean, even if you go, let us say, to Littlehampton, it has one centralised supermarket there. I can't think of the name right now. But within a mile of that, travelling out of the town, the Tesco, Sainsbury's, they are all there. And Selsey is a small place, but it still could maintain and has the supermarket, and it would be better for Selsey. It would be better for shopping, indeed. And I can't see any reason, as many of my friends say, why Asda should not be here and why it is being delayed. I mean, the delay so far has been it's something like 6 months, and I think the council, as far as we're aware, the council has sort of shelved decisions on it for some months. I don't know where. Perhaps I should have rung up on this one. But is Asda good for the people? Yes. One does not want the kind of likes of a Tesco Express, where if you go to a Tesco Express, you find actually the prices have gone up. It is far more expensive to be in a Tesco Express than a normal Tesco's, and they say this, it's the running costs. Of course, many of us find it hard to believe that the running costs are more, but they often say that they have to put up the prices in these things, yet they say their value range is the same. But you will often find when you go to these what you call these little supermarkets, they are on a small scale, you will often find that the value range is very limited. And we are in a system now where people are wanting more choice. They want a price range that they can reach. They're not all super rich. All the people are not super rich. Selsey probably likes to think there are more super rich here. There are plenty of people well-to-do who have signs like "keep out" on their properties. Yes, these people are in a different world. They're the ones who actually go out, climb into their huge Jags and even more, and go zooming off for their weekly shopping at some supermarket. Of course, you get some of the ones here, particularly where I am, who don't go out themselves to do this. They actually get Tesco's to deliver, and they get Iceland to deliver. Yes, you can tell what sort they are. Maybe the prima donna sort who like to be posers. Yeah, get them. There is something about them that is strange. I know this is a service these major shops offer, but there's something about it that says poser about it. Yes, have all these trays coming out and delivered into their house. I mean, they look as if they're actually stocking for the year when they come. But these people do exist, and I think it's very wrong that they poo-poo every idea that comes along. And as we've said with the astronomy thing, I've heard just beyond the programme that there are quite a few people against this observatory being put up. You see, it's this thing of anti-this, they're anti-anything. Probably anti this show as well. But I get to do controversial stuff, and that's the way it is. And I think when you look at it, that some of us, as we age, we need a supermarket and markets pretty nearby that we can go to with confidence and be able to choose a price, perhaps to, if someone's on a lower pension, they need a price to sort of suit that pension. Okay, yes, you've got some other people who actually have a couple of pensions, 2 or 3 pensions to rely on, and therefore it doesn't mean anything for them to pay over the odds. They're quite willing to. It's their lifestyle. They're the people who sort of don't mind what a bill is. And that's a crazy way of living, that they don't care what a bill is. I mean, why is this sort of happening, that some people suffer as a result of these people? What choice do they have of Asda? Maybe they can't get there. To get an Asda, a decent-sized Asda in Selsey, will provide a lot of things. It will provide some workers. The kids here need jobs. Okay, they go as till attendants or something like that. But they could do with the fact of having a job. Yes, they're arguing about a service station, petrol station, cars. But then again, look at it. All the petrol stations that were in Selsey have gone. You have to travel something like I think it's about 2 to 3 miles to a service station. And I can tell you now, in between Selsey and there, if you ran out, it's a walk job. So let's come off this thing of being anti-Asda and actually welcome Asda in. I would welcome in Lidl's or Aldi's. I mean, that would be a better one. But if it's going to be Asda, let's have a decent Asda. An Asda that's got prices which will suit the pockets not just of the rich, but will suit pockets of the poor. There are poor in Selsey. There is a food bank situation in Selsey. Let's not get blinkered over this. Right, we'll go on to the next piece of music.
Faces on a table that'll try if she's able to be something for you. Mirrors keep on changing, she's on my through complaining. Whatever will she be today? Man in a collar, Bible punches and a curse to people's ideals away. Mirrors keep on changing, what's the left remaining? Whatever will he be today? Mirrors keep on changing. Mirrors keep on changing. Mirrors keep on changing.
Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of all? Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, am I the fairest of all?
the torture in his path in vain. Mirrors keep on changing, his curtain lights failing. Whatever would he be today? Mirrors keep on changing. 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 Mirrors keep on changing.
And that was Switchback with Mirrors, a number from the early 80s. And now we near the end of the show, which is a little bit sad. We always get to this stage. In next month's show, there won't be a topic. At least we don't think so, because we hope to have guest Peter Cornish, a guy I played with in the early days in a band called Vecchio, and Pete went his own way and became a fantastic pedal maker to guitarists, and he makes these pedals for guitarists in Britain, America, Europe, China. The Pete Cornish pedals are very well known, and you can find him on the website. Anywhere, any website with Pete Cornish, just put it in, and the Cornish stuff is used by Brian May, Eric Clapton, Ritchie Blackmore, and many of the others. I think most of the famous guitarists are using stuff like him. In fact, he's working on something for Frank Zappa right now, as he told me on the phone. And he's so busy, that's why the May thing may come off. I'm going to hope so, that he'll come down to the studio to see me, because we're going to discuss Pete actually playing on my album, on one of the tracks. But he tells me he's been on the phone with Spandau Ballet, Paul McCartney and Pink Floyd, who right now are using a lot of his valuable time because they want things doing electronically for their tours. And Pete tells me this is the season of tours for bands like this. So we can only just hope that Pete will be here in the studio, and we have a little bit of fun, and we talk and play, and it should be a great session if Pete comes in, because Pete is one of those unsung heroes. He's a nice man, he plays in jazz right now, and so let's look forward to next month. So we are going to sign out with my theme now, and I will say I will see you next month.